Hey all. Hey, this Boston tune, Amanda, which always sounded to me a little bit like it could have been on like Robert Plant's Now and Zen album or something. Has a Robert Plant feel to it. But it's one of those strummers that's good practice. One, because maybe you can fool around with some voicings and learn some different variations and embellishments on chords and stuff. But also, as a guitar player, you want to have a kind of library of some strummer tunes that you can whip out at a party or a college dorm or something, or even on the couch for yourself. So maybe this is one of those. You'd probably want a 12 string. I think it's done on a 12, but we're going to use a 6 in G. So it starts with this little strum. So it's G, and then you hammer on that usual G suspension that is in virtually every song that I do, every pop song, every classic rock song anyway. Suspend 1 up on the B, and then 2 up on the D string. So you just go from your Simon suspension that he does all the time, and then so after the first little then your middle finger goes from the D string onto the G string. That one, that's the one. Like a little play on the typical suspension, except instead of suspending the D at 2, you go the G 2. I guess that's the Joni Mitchell both sides now chord. Right, that's your intro. Right, he does that little on the B minor. So you could do it B minor. In fact, it probably, for the typical guitar player who's not way off track like I am, you probably want to borrow the B minor. And just take your finger off the B string and then back on. I do it like this because I finger my thumb, my B note over the top. C, right, that C chord here, that's just a G, but if you do it like this, doesn't quite have that sound to it. To me, it just sounds more like he's not playing that low G note on it. So you get this effect of right. So C, G minus the low E string, A minor. So that A minor to here, he might be doing, but I don't hear the C note in it. So I hear it as A minor to an A minor 7. So A minor 7, open G string. And then you double up that G note by hitting the low one. You get the fret. I'm in love with you, D sorry. The chorus is E minor, A minor, D on the hand. And that's just E minor, A minor to D. I don't know how many it goes through, 3 or 4. And then back to the beginning. So after that last one. So this is another one you see quite a bit in classic rock. It's a C, except the B string is at 3. So you get the and then back to the beginning. E minor to B minor. Then G, A minor, A minor. Alright, so you're going through another chord. I don't know if there's 3 or 4 of these. I tell you right away, I gon' wait another day. I think either goes into the guitar solo, but I think it goes into. That little interlude to make it in the middle. Maybe too late, right? So that's a regular from that last one. E, B minor, except this B minor, I hear the high E string open. You can do like that, or like that. Sounds like a lot, but check it out. It's actually a fairly predictable, simple progression. So after you're going through the E, and then the B minor, tomorrow may be too late, with the B minor with the high E open, C to D, and then G, walk down to E minor. Actually do it as just so G, then just do the low E string at 2, B and E are still at 3, E minor with the B and E still at 3, take the D string off, so it's an E minor 7 with those stuck in there, C, leave the high E on there. So that's just C walking down to A minor. That same A minor 7. This is that very end of the song. So the end is a little bit different from the verse because it goes the same thing. E minor my whole life through B minor. Now usually it would go da 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 da, but it doesn't do that. It just goes G, E minor to B minor to A minor. To that A minor 7, and it ends on the D. in terms of the strum. Your arm is pretty well always in motion. You can see it. It's fairly rhythmic and doesn't change too much. But I mean, see how many upstrokes there are? Learn to work on your upstrokes on this song. 'Cause I really think in terms of rhythm playing and becoming a really good rhythm player, and I'm still determined to become a really good rhythm player. After 30 some years, 40 years, I'll close to it. Upstrokes are so important. And you want to be able to do upstrokes where you're accenting certain strings, even though your arm is doing a full motion. You want to be able to hit the strings you want to hit. When I'm going to that chord, I'm at the high end of that chord. I'm not really hitting the low ones so much on that because I want to sort of build to that. Think about things like that, like as the chords are rising up or going down, whatever. Which strings do you want to accent on some of those things? Those upstrokes to hit those high strings. Because I think there is a difference. Because here it is. Well, I don't know if you can do it with all downstrokes. You can't do it that way. And this one is a kind of a languid feel to it. Give it some of your own feel. You can tell on the record, it's done, on the recording of it, it's done very kind of laid back. And then of course it builds during the solo and it builds during the chorus, and get a feel for that. But concentrate on your up, down, and accenting certain parts, getting stronger when you're every time it hits a D in this song, you're kind of up. You're either going back to another start of a verse or you're going back to you're kind of banging into a chorus every time you hit a D. So that tells you, okay, when I hit a D, I'm at the top of the wave. I'm either what am I gonna do from there? So you want to have some drama to it. Build up on that D and give it some energy, and then lay back a little bit for the start of the next verse, or get really into the chorus. So be conscious of that stuff. Start thinking along those lines when you're. It's just a simple strummer. Any junior high kid can learn these chords. But again, as usual, as we always say, it's in the strum hand where you can sort of differentiate the campfire stuff from something that sounds decent. Good luck.